So it's about 3 some in the morning and up like usual. I was like, man, I gotta get up. And there's something about, the time between 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. that is just this magic moment where it's just like the world is at its quietest, everybody's kind of stationary for the most part. And I feel like God talks to me the loudest at these times between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And sometimes I just sit back and I listen. Sometimes I meditate. I like my meditation music. And I just think about my future. I'm not trying to chase after it. I'm not trying to do it from a urgency standpoint. I used to be like that, I used to be a person where everything requires some sort of chase and, no fulfillment, and I had to realize, like, you have to understand where you are and you got to understand where you're going. The main thing is understanding that wherever you are, you got to embrace it. And that's me, like, biggest things that I just love doing every day, especially now, is just waking up, having an idea, and just kind of creating something out of nothing, whether it be content about my music, now content about my vlogs, or just typical conversation. And now I've created such a safe space for things that I can just find comfort in, and this is about me manifesting my future. And, I just dream every day about, the future, whether it's my music, my ability to create off my likeness and image, and just building the platform. I've always had the intent for so long, but the biggest problem was putting it all together. And sometimes you slip, fall. Nobody's perfect, You're gonna go up and down, I just think that, and I'm always thinking now, because of how raw content is nowadays, where there's very minimal editing and there's just raw moments. And I think I just had to go through just all the things of life. A lot of life has happened, and I think I grew in wisdom, and I think it's going to really allow me to be ready for the next steps in life, to be ready for all the things that are attracting to me. And in my future, I just see myself producer, artist, singer, dancer, director, editor, just like me, just making full out music videos, me dancing, with choreography and all those good things. It's like, I just see it. It just takes a willingness, a level of resilience, a level of not giving up, never quitting. And all of these things can happen. And it's like, with me starting as a late bloomer, it's like, I felt behind, but I had to kind of learn that everybody's path is different. And at the end of the day, it's not about being better than the other person. It's about what mark and what edge can you make into the music stratosphere, what impact do you want to make? And with my mind, my intellect, and my intent, and my just overall being of everything, I feel like everything is going to manifest. Everything is going to create itself. I don't have to force it. For so long, I've been trying to force so many things in my life. Trying to force the level of success. Trying to force things to happen at this time. It has to happen. And I'm just allowing life to just attract. And I feel so happy about it now. Because it's almost like I'm intentionally doing things and I'm waking up with the actual ability to do those actions. And I used to be so stagnant. I used to never like I can do things now when I don't feel like it. You get what I'm saying? And that was the hardest hurdle for me to overcome. It was the biggest hurdle. And I think when you can overcome certain things in life, whether, doing things that you don't feel like doing, not overthinking, being your biggest critic, like when you learn to overcome certain hurdles and certain barriers, life starts to attract in a way where it's like, it's seamless. Like right now, like we're doing these chat vlogs. I don't think about no views. I don't think about what I'm just in the mode, in the zone of just creating. I know right now I can't go out and go to this music studio, record here, and I know I can't do that now. I know I can't create now because I don't have those resources. So what do? You do what you do with what you have now. That's what, the maturity and the wisdom comes into play. Because it's like, for me, the biggest battle that I was always fighting was like, I want to put stuff out, but I want to put it out at this level. And it's like, you don't have the resources for these levels. So it's like, it only made me more upset to constantly like make excuses and thinking things are against you and not having all of these things come together. And it's like, okay, well, I do have a camera, I do have a phone, I do have Wi-Fi, I do have internet, I do have cellular data. Why can't I allow my success to happen, And, those were the mental barriers. Starting out in January, I was ready to just go after it. But life told me, it's not your time. It is not your time. It's not your time. Because there were still things internally that I was battling and things I had to overcome. So it's like, okay, now I'm getting through those things. Now I'm feeling less pressure. Now life is opening up. Now it's like I'm creating life on my terms. You don't dictate. Nobody dictates how all of these things come about. Because once I start reaching certain levels, once I start making more beats, and because like melodies come free. But I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for all of these things to come about, to create my life, because that's what I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting the big stage. I'm manifesting, the choreography. I'm manifesting the visuals. I'm manifesting, just the overall, creating my own studio. I'm manifesting the actual moments of embarking on a journey and having a team and doing all of these things. Like I'm envisioning that. And I've been envisioning it since I started, you know? But I didn't know where to start. You know, I made mistakes. Paid for managers where they didn't really add too much, you know, and realizing there's more things I can do by myself than depending on others. Because when things aren't working for you or there's no money coming in, people are less reluctant to help you. It's just the truth of the game, and you have to let all those people, all the teams, and all these people to naturally attract to your vision. Because I believe in just organic, you know, attraction. You know, not no force. Let me go do this and hey, you're gonna want to be. No, we're not gonna do that. I've tried it plenty of times, and to be sitting here, 29, to be on this journey, and I'm about to hit the 30-year mark. I'm not gonna be defined by my age. I'm timeless. And I want people to understand I'm timeless. There's not gonna be another Josh Chapman, you know? And as long as I lead with that, anybody, any narrative, I'm gonna be able to create my own. Because it's my story. Regardless of how people want to take it. Because how I believe on the internet, everybody talks past each other. So, regardless, as long as it's not affecting my family, you know, and when it does, we're going to correct it. But it's all about setting boundaries. Letting people know you're not going to do this. Thank God for the internet. You know, because narratives used to run before all of this and people had no way to say what they felt. You know, it's all about creating, finding who you are, and letting your dreams come true and live them. Make your dreams come a reality. That's what we're doing when we manifest. This is that magic manifestation moment that inspires myself, and I hope to inspire others. That's just what I want to do, is just create this level of inspiration, just to be yourself. Authenticity is my biggest thing, you know. Don't let people, don't be, like, there's always going to be trends, there's always going to be things, but don't let people dictate how you're going to live your life. Don't let people control what you're going to do, because this life is so short, and we can only live this thing as we know once. As we know. I don't know. But I will promise you, every fiber in my bone, I'm always going to continue. I'm always going to keep stepping up to the plate every day. And I'm always going to keep God first. So I'm telling y'all, everybody with a dream, put it out into the world and go after it. Don't put it out and don't work. Faith without works is dead. So you gotta put in the time. Because those are the important moments. Because the only way is through. Can't go around it. Can't go to the side of it. Can't sit back and just put your feet up. The only way is through. I'm out.